Well, I'm afraid I may have jinxed everything because we now got FC26 ratings leaked after yesterday we talked about we haven't seen like any yet and where are they? Well, that question was answered today and we're going to go talk about all those ratings leaked. We'll look at how those ratings compare as well to the videos we've made over the last like 3 weeks or so talking about new ratings next year, looking at the final squad update in FC25. How do they compare? We'll go and look at that. And we do actually have an SBC leak for FC25 that is like what we've kind of been wanting forever. So we'll talk about that, I suppose, because I wanted to bring up Blacksenius. I know I'm saying your name wrong. I'm very sorry. What the hell is this? I'm sorry. This SBC coming out at this time of the year. This kind of stuff really confirms to me they're trying to give you more freedom on like evolutions combined with SBCs, because otherwise this makes no sense. And I mean, I don't know. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. I'm getting ahead of myself here, but there was an EA interview today as well, once again, and we'll go and discuss all of that stuff. Also, guys, final evolution teams or evos themselves, send me them on Twitter or on PSN messages. My Twitter is above my head and my PSN is A-J-3-4. Preferably send me in-game stats as well as like the evo cards themselves. If you have a full team, then send me those. That would be awesome. But okay, quickly before we go on to the leaks and stuff, I want to kind of say that I think next year is going to be more of this, by the way. I think they're going to try and combine like season pass evos with SBC content. I think it's an excuse to make SBCs worse, to be honest with you, if we're going to be cynical. But try to find like some evolution stuff here that's not an evolution thing. And season pass plus, right? These kinds of things. They want you to pretty much combine this right here with like SBCs that come out, and then that's kind of their way of saying you're getting more freedom, right? Because then you can decide what playstyle pluses you want on Blacksenius, right? You can decide that. But then, of course, you can apply this to one player, which then once you do, all the other content that comes out that might purposely have one less playstyle plus or something like that to give you more freedom. Well, sorry, like this is the problem with this kind of way they're doing it. And it's probably just an excuse to make SBCs worse, if we're being honest with ourselves. But anyway, let's go and check out the leaks and stuff. And we'll actually start with the SBC that's been leaked to come out. So you'll never guess who it is. It's a 99 Ronaldinho who, listen, like we want to try and release cards that are obviously crazy right now, but is it not funny that there's a 97 Ronaldinho? I think it's out right now still. Am I wrong about that? Yeah, it's 21 days. So we have obviously a Ronaldinho out right now. We'll get a more expensive Dino that will be, I guess, giving us a choice on like what you want to do, because comparing the two cards here, you've got some different playstyle pluses, right? Finesse shot, rapid, incisive, technical, and trickster. And then right here, you've got tiki-taka and load driven, which debatably, that's probably a better group of playstyle pluses there. But this one's striker, right mid, right wing, and this one is going to be a left wing. So there is differences here, right? It's not like totally the exact same card, but it's just funny to pick him of all the cards to give a 99 SBC. I'm not going to, I guess, complain too much. I mean, I am going to complain because what are we doing, I guess, at this point in the year now, finally getting these? I think EA also are really trying to manage out content to where it's really like going till the end of September. Like they are trying to really stretch things out until the end of September, which to me is not a smart idea. Actually, it might sound smart like in theory, but people are going to lose interest in you stringing things along in the middle of August or in the beginning of August, right? Once futties is kind of like over, people are not going to care anymore. So that's kind of just the reality of it. But Dino's coming out, so it's gonna be a cool card to do. It just, there's underlying factors here that are kind of annoying. But okay, we'll start now with some rating stuff. So I do want to warn you actually prior to this, to be honest with you, these actually aren't like S tier leaks. These are like maybe more like B tier. Deku GFX, I think, does stuff with like Fraud Zone, and also he's had some like right stuff in the past, but there is a little like question marks around Deku GFX. He's pretty big, and he's got FUT latest involved, and I think FUT latest is usually pretty accurate. So I lean towards these are probably true, but worst case scenario, maybe they're just complete bullshit. And also, I'm kind of surprised too about this is that they did not leak the playstyle pluses for these cards. It's just simply the ratings. Actually, only one card would probably have a playstyle plus, and that's right here. That's Cole Palmer, who is an 87 rated, and obviously in FC25 in the last squad update they gave him incisive pass plus, and here they don't show any obviously ratings or no in-game stats or playstyles. His rating is right there. It's the whole point of the damn leak. So 87 rated for Cole Palmer, apparently. How do you guys feel about that one? I do want to also say, by the way, Donk, who's like an S tier leaker, obviously did say rating season, and he does have a time emoji here, which means maybe they're not ready yet. But I don't want to have to. I'm tired of deciphering what leaks are correct from where, ratings, shit. Like, I don't really know what to make of this here. Fut Agent like comes in and then kind of confirms it. He's obviously very, very good as well. But then it's just the same Deku GFX leak. So is that any different? Does he have confirmation? I don't know. Nobody knows anything anymore. So take these with a pinch of salt, please, because they might not be accurate. But there's Cole Palmer. We talked about him. And one weird thing as well is his next rating leak is Jack Grealish. Okay, 81 goes down by 3. So sorry for that. Now, the more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm kind of like, is this is this even real right now? Ederson -2 down to 86. Still says long ball plus here, I guess. So is that a leak in there? They kept his playstyle plus and then didn't add Cole Palmer's. Another suspicious thing. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I don't know what to make of this. Gundogan 84 here, -3 points apparently. And wait a second, is this all? Now I think about this, is this literally all the exact same rating as the last squad update? Oh man, this isn't even real, are they? Oh my god. Mark Cucurella's 84. Yeah, this is, I think this is exactly the squad update, is it not? Hold on a minute. FIFA CM, come and figure this shit out for me. So Cucurella's 82 in the squad update. So, or 83 actually. So maybe they have an actual leak here, but I think everybody else they talked about, I know Marmouche is 84 already. We talked about Marmouche, right? He's 84 right now. Yeah, Marmouche is 84 right here. I think I saw Ederson was 86. We saw that. Is Jack Grealish 81 right now? Let's find out. Yep. Okay. Well, I think we just figured out in real time here, these leaks are probably not real. Is Gundogan 84? I swear Gundogan's also 84 because this is lining up 1-to-1 right now, apart from Cucurella, which they might just be inferring gets another +1. I think the other one we saw leaked was, where is he? Up here. Was it? Yeah, Joao Felix is 80 overall. Is this also lined up 1-for-1 with the last squad update? Let's figure this out. And you know damn well it already is. So was Cucurella like a mistake, or was that a prediction or something like that? I'm gonna read through here. No. Okay, so maybe actually it just lines up really well. I don't know. I'm starting to believe these are kind of bullshit. So plans have changed. I don't know what the title of this video now. I'm pretty sure that this is probably not legit, but it could be. And also Fut Latest says 30k followers when I wake up and I drop 10 more players. So I'm starting to, you know, boys, I'm losing confidence here. I'm losing big time confidence. But okay, moving on to our next thing here is the FC26 Premier League Player of the Month for August. Right now, there are so many players that could be winning this. We do have one more match week, by the way, that is in August, but all these guys right here have 3 goals or assists combined. So Richarlison, Ekitike, Semenyo, Timber, Gakpo, Calafiori, and Joao Pedro all have 3 goal contributions for the month. So this is going to be a very important last match week, the month of August, to see who actually might take this home, because I kind of want to say they're going to lean towards new transfer bias almost, but it's going to matter way more what happens during the last match week. But okay, last thing here is a Deserto article where they sat down with, I think it was Fut Economist and somebody else. I apologize what his name is, but there's not really a whole lot new here. It's really just a reiteration of the same stuff we've kind of been hearing in just new words. We're going to be reducing the supply of items that come into the system. So he's literally saying there's going to be just straight up less promo items this year, because we haven't really heard that confirmation yet. We heard that there were going to be less upgrades, but here he's saying literally there's going to be fewer items, like basically simple as that. You know, Rivals and Champs rewards might look worse compared to previous years because they're trying to limit some stuff, and we talked about that already. They also reiterate they're trying to make sure the value per hour of engagement is coming down. Therefore, the value you get for spending money is also coming down in the same way. The end result is that we don't want it to become more pay to win. You know, we'll see how that goes. The results, obviously, they're hoping for here is you can dip out of Ultimate Team for a little while without worrying about being way off the pace when you return, which is a very important piece, I think, that EA have had to do for a while now, and now they're finally doing it. I did say down here as well, I believe that they want to have like a significantly less number of games per week for you to play throughout all of the game modes, I believe, because then that'll free up players right here to take part in more leisurely modes like squad battles or the new gauntlet. So they want to try and have less matches in these other competitive modes to free up time so you can play these leisurely modes, which I guess is one of the things they're trying to do. Constant white knuckle competition leads to burnout. You know, we talked about that already. They want to find a better balance, and that's that. So the only thing really that we learned, I guess, here that's like brand new is that they literally explained that they want less supply of items. Like, we haven't really heard that come in yet. They want less things in the game next year. So Not a bad idea, but that's kind of the only thing we really learned that's brand new here. Okay, let's read some of your comments now. We've got I Touch Michelf, who says, I must be the only one that disagrees with most people on what a good promo is. A good promo to me is a promo that gets every type of player involved and does not just cater to meta merchants or big club past and presents. I just don't see the point in adding all these other leagues if you're never going to touch them and just continue to reskin the same Arsenal, Barca, Real, and Man United players. And you're not wrong. The problem is that EA, especially now, this is actually going to be a problem that probably gets worse, because if there's less items overall next year, we're not going to see then any more players that are going to be from lesser leagues, probably, because that just is not going to sell the packs. If they ended up having a system similar to this year again, they might maybe sit there and go, okay, we'll add in more players from lesser leagues, because why now? We have so many damn promo cards. Now I don't know if we're going to get many of these types of players that are in lesser leagues that aren't like tearing it up like Gyökeres this year, right? He was doing so insanely well, they had to like acknowledge him. I'm pretty sure now, unfortunately, we probably are going to see even less of these if I had to guess. Maybe they'll acknowledge the feedback and do this next year actually, when I'm not expecting it or we're not expecting it. I'd probably doubt that. And I do think that, yeah, I mean, I agree with you on what a good promo is, but that, to be honest with you, I'm sure you can check out the metrics on the back end here. I'm sure they can see that, wow, people don't spend money on the game when there's not like a couple of top tier players that are really popular from big clubs. They just don't do it. But can we not add like 3 or 4 cards end of each promo from like kind of randomish leagues? Like you have so many leagues in the game. Why not kind of, I guess, embrace that a little bit? We got Rocksteady99. Has anyone else not pre-ordered the game? Don't plan on picking the game up on launch / early on. You'd have zero FOMO about not getting it. And this is, I think, actually one of the things that scared EA off a little bit in November of last year, when the player count was that low only 2 months in. That, I think they started to realize, like, oh damn, the FOMO, because the FOMO would well and truly be there in November of a game drop, right? It would be 2 months in. The FOMO would definitely be there before Black Friday. Like, it's for sure there. And when the player count was lower than ever during that point, I think they were like, okay, even our psychological ploys, I guess is a way to say it. I know it kind of sounds like it's conspiracy type shit. Even our FOMO is not keeping them on, and that's a problem. And I think that's where this comes from here, is like they kind of broke some of that. The FOMO, people are just getting more knowledge on what FOMO is, right? Because in 2017, 18, 19, people knew what FOMO was, of course, because FOMO has been a thing since, like, you know, Wall Street came into existence. But now people are spreading the word more on how that applies to video games. Now people know about it. They can educate themselves and try and get rid of the FOMO that EA is trying to induce in you on a daily basis. And now we kind of end up here, where I think Rocksteady, now that you know what the FOMO is, it helps you now understand like why you feel certain ways, right? And you're not alone in that. There's more people now that don't feel that FOMO, and EA, that's, I think, why they really are trying to they're trying to really win people back, because I think it wasn't even FC24. I think it was 25 that really damaged them. And I think that it's going to be interesting to see how they actually go about doing it in 26, because it somehow could get worse. Like, it's possible. I think it's really easy for it not to get worse if you have the right leadership at play here. And it seems like they at least have a number of staffing that's good now that they did not have in previous years. That's a good sign. It's easy to make this game better to me. But do you have faith, right? Do you have faith in EA to be like, yeah, we're actually going to make this game better? No, you should not have faith. Even if you do have faith, like I probably have a little bit of faith in this year, you shouldn't have faith. I mean, you probably should. But guys, thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all so much, and I love you all. Peace.